Hey, very good morning. It's Woody back again for another little chat. Sitting in my garden today. You can probably see it's a beautiful sunny day, and this has been the best day for a long time. It's really nice, and it's the day after the walk. Yesterday we done 10 miles, raised a lot of money for prostate cancer. Prostate Cancer Uk is the charity. Which is a charity about research into prostate cancer, and it's very good, very good. It's a very worthy cause. The walk itself was fabulous. Down on the Kent coast, the weather was like winter in the morning and summer in the afternoon, I guess would be the best way to describe it. We had quite cold easterly winds in the morning, very cloudy, and in the afternoon the sun came out on us. And it was a fabulous walk. Really enjoyed it, and must do things like that more often. Just get out and beat the the fatigue which cancer so often causes. I can listen to that bird singing in the background for ages. That's a wren, by the way. Smallest bird we have in the UK. Makes the loudest noise. Just listen to her. Absolutely beautiful. And yeah, I like sitting outside and listening to the birds singing and feeling the warmth of the sun. It's glorious, it really is. And one of the things I wanted to talk about today was a topic that comes up a lot in, I think, in any cancer conversation with people, is about the anxiety of waiting for scan results, and perhaps a few tips that I can use, that I've used, that I can pass on, especially for people maybe just going through this. Now, you might recall a video I done several weeks ago where I had all the latest MRI, CT, bone scan. I haven't had those results back yet. That was only about 3 weeks ago, and then just a few days ago I get a call from the hospital to ask me to come back in to have another CT scan, which is today. Therefore, then the thoughts start going around your head. You know, is this because they found something in the other scan? Is it bad? Is it because they just want to double check, or could it be something completely harmless, like the scan didn't come out clear enough? You know, all sorts of thoughts go through your head, and especially at the moment with the state of my, I suppose my condition, where my PSA has been steadily rising, despite having a good 2.5 years of zero PSA has now started to rise. So I thought I'd try and share a few things about Scanxiety, as I know it's been called. The first real thing about it is that when you have a scan, I'm not sure how long you guys in other parts of the world it takes for the people that do the scan to get back to you to tell you the results. Here in the UK it can be weeks and weeks. And so therefore you start thinking, if you're not careful, about how bad it's going to be, which is a natural human reaction to anything, really. We are biased at negative thinking, and it's just the way we're made. And so, having had a scan just under 3 weeks ago, not having any result from that, and then being recalled back in again, of course the mind starts to go down this pathway of, oh my God, it's got to be bad. It's got to be the, you know, it's the end of the world. That kind of catastrophe. You catastrophize stuff. So the way I've learned to cope with this is, first of all, I try as hard as possible to push the thought of the scan out of my mind. And I think I've got quite good at that. I think it's just a case of, right, there you go, I've had my scan, let's forget about it now. Let's not sit there worrying about what the consequences are, you know, because nobody ever knows until the day you get told. And all that time in between of worrying and building yourself up for something that very often is nowhere near as bad as you think it's going to be, can cause a lot of mental health problems. And even you can even physically start feeling worse. And I definitely know that your physiology changes when your mind starts thinking differently. So I try to forget it's happened. I try to literally, right, okay, I've had the scan, let's forget about it. Okay. And then you've got to try and find ways of forgetting about things, and distracting yourself is so important. So when you sort of are sitting down on a quiet moment and you suddenly start thinking about it, that's the time when you've got to go, right, I need to do something. I need to do something right now to take my mind off it. Watch a movie, listen to something nice on a Spotify or something like that. You know, put the earphones in and listen to some classical music, whatever floats your boat, you know, whatever you love that takes you away. You've got to distract yourself. You've got to get yourself busy. When you're just idling around and you're not doing anything, this is when those thoughts start piling in. Go for a walk. You know, do you know what? I'm feeling really bad at the moment, my scan. I'm worried about the scan. Let's just go for a walk, and let's just walk around and focus on just putting one foot in front of the other, and get out the front door and enjoy nature. Go to the woods, go to a lake, if you're lucky enough, to a river. I walked down the river last week, and as I was walking along, I saw that we've got a tidal river. As I was walking along, I saw what I thought was a log on the edge of where the tide was coming in. There's like these sandbanks, and I looked at it and I thought, I'm sure I saw that move. And the closer I got to it, the more it started I saw that it was the tail flapping. It was a seal just basking on the, you know. And I just sat there and watched it for about 10 minutes, and then it just flopped off and went back into the water. And I thought how privileged I was to see that. You don't often see seals in the river this far inland, you know, stuff like that. Listen to the birds, listen to the wren, you know, this little bird that literally builds up its energy and then bursts out this song that, you know, you just think, wow, you know, there is a beautiful world out there. And it takes away the Scanxiety and makes you feel better to be alive. And, you know, you can huddle yourself in your house, you can stay in bed, you can do all these things to avoid facing up to the fact that, you know, you've had a scan, and take it full on. What's the worst it can be? You know, just get out there and enjoy life and go for a drive, you know, whatever you can. You can't, the human mind can't think in two things at the same time. I can't be anxious and happy together. It just can't. It's impossible. Okay, so find something that makes you happy. It sounds so simple, doesn't it? Find something that makes you happy. But this has been my recipe for the Scanxiety, because otherwise it builds up, and before you know it, you are catastrophizing all sorts of outcomes. You're dying, basically. You feel like you're dying because your thoughts are leading you down a pathway where everything points to you dying. Or you know, it just, that's the effect of the negative side of our thinking and our brain. The way it just works that way. Mistakenly, it's trying to protect us from whatever. You know, just sitting out in the garden for 10 minutes, thinking about life, how beautiful it is, and how nice it is, and how refreshing it is to sit in nature, and, you know, just being able to do that, and telling cancer for 10 minutes, just go away, leave my mind alone. I don't need you today. You know, the scan will be whatever it will be. You will never change the outcome of that scan, unless you have some kind of magical powers, in which I'd love to know. But you will never change the outcome of that scan. All you'll do is worry yourself into ill health, especially ill mental health. So think about things that make you distracted. Watch a film, as I said, listen to music, read a book, go for a walk. Perhaps what could be a really good idea is you guys that have got this experience yourselves, that are regularly contributing to this channel with your lovely and wonderful comments that inspire all. Perhaps you could just give a few words of advice to people. What do you do? What do you do to take away anxiety? It'd be lovely to hear, and perhaps we can get a, you know, some people I know, for instance, a very good friend of mine, Phil, goes for a bike ride. Possibly some people might go down the gym and bash out some weights, you know, all those sort of things. Let us know what you do. Okay. Well, in the meantime, so take care. Again, thanks so much for listening. Please share the channel. If it's helping people, it's got to be a good thing, isn't it? Right? You know, let's keep it going. My next big day will be on Thursday this week, where I go to the oncologist. It's been the first time for a while, where we talk about the plan for going forward with the rising PSA. Is it going to be chemo? Is it going to be, I don't know. I'll let you know when I've had that meeting. Well, I'll come back to you, so probably on Friday. So again, I'm not going to spend my life worrying about that. I'm just going to enjoy what I've got right now in the moment, and yeah, especially the sunshine while it lasts. Take care. Bye-bye.